The first freeze of the fall season will be a hard one later tonight. We'll have details. It's playoff time for Texas high school football this Friday, and Cover1 is here to tell you everything you need to know. But first, it's Veterans Day, and we've got an exclusive interview with a former member of the Blue Angels. All this plus more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. Veterans Day is the day we honor the people who've served in our military. Dick's Key Shop proudly supports our veterans. Stop by Dick's Key Shop for all your keys, locks, and safe needs. That's at 204 North Chadbourn in historic downtown San Angelo. Happy Veterans Day from everyone at Dick's Key Shop. A two-vehicle crash sent two people to the hospital this morning in southwest San Angelo. San Angelo police were dispatched to the intersection of Southwest Boulevard and Southland Boulevard for the report of a major crash. Once on the scene, officers observed that a silver Cadillac and a blue Toyota had collided in the intersection. According to the police investigation, the Cadillac was traveling north on Southwest Boulevard while the Toyota was driving west on Southland. The Cadillac ran the red light and crashed into the Toyota in the intersection. Two occupants from the Toyota were transported to the hospital, and the driver of the Cadillac was cited for running the red light. Also today, of course, is Veterans Day, and with that, we would like to thank all of our veterans of all the armed services. One place in town that celebrated the day was Angelo State University, of course. They held a luncheon and presented the 2022 RAM Veteran of the Year Award. That award was given to Richard Mayer. Mayer served in the United States Naval Air Corps and is a large contributor to the school. During the luncheon, 22-year Air Force veteran Caroline Jensen and F-16 pilot gave the keynote speech. Our reporter Matt Trammell spoke with Jensen today. Here is that interview.
Caroline Jensen, and I'm a Lieutenant Colonel, United States Air Force retired. I am here in San Angelo at Angelo State University today as the guest speaker for the Veterans Day luncheon. I'm very excited to share my story and how veterans inspired me and my service, and hopefully inspire the next generation of veterans too. I wanted to fly from a very young age. My family had some military service. My grandpa was actually in the Coast Guard, and so was my grandma on my mom's side. My father was in the Marine Corps and the Navy Reserve and the Army. My sister went into the Army as well, so I joke that I finally got it right by going into the Air Force. But I really had this fascination with flying, and I really wanted to serve my country, and being in the Air Force was a great way to marry those two passions for me, and it resulted in a 22-year-long career. I really loved flying the F-16. My military aviation career was over 3,600 hours. I flew a lot of training missions for pilot training instructors in the T-38, which is a great little fast jet trainer. I flew the F-16, I have 1,850 hours flying that. I flew it all over the United States as a member of the Thunderbirds. I flew the right wing position in 2012, 13, and 14, and I also flew it in Korea. I flew it in combat in Iraq and Hill Air Force Base, and quite a few missions out of Nellis Air Force Base too as an aggressor pilot. Veterans Day is for all those serving, whether in peacetime or in combat, those who are still with us and those who passed away, to honor them and think about the service and the sacrifice that they made. Nobody wants peace more than a veteran, and that's why we decide to serve, so that we can deter our enemies, so that hopefully we don't have to go into combat, but if we do, that we can make sure that we support and defend the Constitution of the United States. That's what we swear an oath to when we first go into the service. And so there's a lot of things in there, but it's a big celebration of people who want to serve. Less than 1% of Americans raise their hand to take that oath and serve in the United States Armed Forces. And so it's important that we honor those people who are willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice to support this amazing country that we enjoy. Today, I want to encourage other veterans to tell their stories, and I'm going to share my story and the story of my family members that inspired me to serve. There's also two very special groups of diverse aviators that flew during World War II that really inspired me to want to serve, and that was the Tuskegee Airmen, who was the first African-American flying squadron who flew very valiantly in World War II and were very successful and helped to end segregation in the Department of Defense in 1948, which was well before segregation was ended in our country. And then also the Women Air Force Service pilot. That's the wings that I wear, are the wings of the WASP. And without them earning these wings, I would not have earned my wings. So I love to share their story, and it doesn't matter what your race, gender, religious background is. I think everybody can be inspired by these two groups who went outside of their comfort zone, who pushed the boundaries and changed things for our whole country. There was quite a bit. Even the Chief of Staff of the Air Force at the time they lifted the combat exclusion had just given an interview stating that he would rather fly with a less qualified man on his wing than a woman, which is very surprising, and then, conceded and had to allow women to fly in fighters. I think if anyone was worried about how women perform, you could talk to my squadron commander from Iraq. We had 3 women, which is pretty rare in my squadron, and we were very successful when we flew in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and our troops on the ground. And things are changing, attitudes are changing. Change is always difficult, but you keep persisting and follow your dreams, do what you want to do, and the sky is the limit.
What a great interview. In weather, for the next few days, we're going to be getting our first freeze of the year. In the morning, early in the morning, it will be freezing for several hours. Temperatures around 28, 29 degrees for several hours. And the highs in the afternoons for the next couple of days will only be in the mid-50s, around 55 degrees. Those temperatures will roll into Sunday with a bit of a chance of rain coming in. On Monday, the rain chance is about 20% as for now. We'll update that weather throughout the weekend. As for next week, temperatures will likely mimic today with highs only in the upper 50s. For tonight's high school football playoff matchups, the sun is going to set around 5:45 p.m. That's right, 5:45 p.m. And it'll be cold, so bring a jacket if you're going out to one of those football games. If you're traveling all the way to El Paso tonight for the Central Bobcat game, it'll be in the mid-50s around kickoff, and by the end of the game, temperatures will drop to the 40s. And now it's time for the COVER1 high school preview pregame show. It's been a long regular season, and now if you lose, you're out. Find out what our guys are thinking about the matchups. But first, here's a quick message from Tiemann Investments.
I've always known that I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to help students maximize their potential. It's something that I'm good at. But planning for my financial freedom, that's something I leave for a professional. That's why I chose to team up with the advisors at Tiemann Investments. They not only understand me and my goals, but they understand the market, what's important now and in the future. They provided world-class advice right where I am, here in West Texas. Connect with Tiemann Investments to visualize your financial dreams.
Welcome to the COVER1 pregame show. It is time for some playoff football. Last night we had a lot of it. We have highlights to get to, and then we're going to talk about a little bit of what's going to happen on Friday night. That's tonight. So first, got to bring in my co-hosts here. First, we got James Bellini. James, you were out at a football game last night. That's not really common for us because we're stuck in this studio, but how was it?
It was an incredible game. I went to Sonora, and only is not your regular fourth-place team. They are in a district with Hawley, Cisco, and Stanford, who are their only 3 losses this year, and it was a great one. I'm not going to give any details up on what happened yet because we're going to get to it. So,
well, Chadwick, me and you, we went to the same game. We were out at Wall Hawks. We were watching Sterling City versus Miles. You're used to going to these games, but you're used to 6-man games. How was it to watch one of these little schools go at it?
Man. What an exciting game that was as well. Like I was talking to James earlier and said, it's almost like we watched the same game. Similar outcomes, back and forth the entire night. Like I said, I'm used to those bigger, faster, more complex offenses in the 6A, but for 2A, that was some fun football to watch.
All right, well, let's get into it. We are going to start with a little bit of a preview, and we're going to start with the Central Bobcats going down to El Paso. It's going to be a good one. First round of the playoffs First round playoffs, didn't get out of the first. Talking about it last night, and one of the things that you told me was, man, last year we played that El Paso team, and this year our El Paso team we're getting might be better. So talk about that. Is this team better, and how are we going to be able to overcome it if they are?
Yeah, I do think that this El Paso Eastwood team is better than the team that Central had to play in the playoffs last year. But with that being said, Central was a better team this year than they were last year. Not only do they have one more win than they did last year, but they haven't gotten blown out yet this season. That was not the case last year, right? So I think what the Bobcats also have working for them is the quality opponent. The Central has faced is a little bit higher, bit of higher quality than what El Paso Eastwood has faced this season. Permian, Legacy, and Friendship are all really good football teams. I can see all three of them actually making it at least into the second round. But so Central's got their hands full, but it's not all doom and gloom. Like I said, it's going to be a shootout. But yeah, let's hope the Bobcats can pull out a win.
And, of course, you can catch out all the highlights right here at our 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock show. We're going to move on because we're going to move fast. That way we can get to all these highlights in the time that we got. Our next game, it is going to be a good one. It is going to be in Sweetwater. The El Dorado Eagles, they are – there it goes. Here, but what can you do as a mindset to get in there against some of these teams who you probably may not stand a chance against?
Well, when you're going against teams like Albany who just execute at a really high level, because that's their biggest strength, right? They don't turn the ball over much. They don't have broken plays. They just kind of run you over, right? So from El Dorado's perspective, they just need to be opportunistic tonight. They need to take advantage of the mistakes that Albany does make, and if they can do that, then they can get a couple more possessions, maybe a few more touchdowns. Maybe that extra first down will be the difference that changes the game for them.
Yeah, like I said, this is going to be a really tough game for El Dorado, but it isn't impossible. I think one thing that El Dorado Eagles do well is face adversity and be able to just continue to roll. And I think that's kind of how they ended up in the spot that they are, but they did make the playoffs. So I think that's kind of the recipe for disaster in this one. Okay, moving on to our last game that we're going to preview. It is going to be a one for the history book.
Fourth, and he's a really good player. And Crane, they're in a 4-team district out there, and Tornillo couldn't field a team, I don't think, and Odessa Compass Academy is in their district. They kind of just have to play who they play. And I think there's a good chance that TLCA could win this one.
And not only do they have to play who they play, but they played them twice.
They played them twice.
They ran that district twice because they did not have enough games out there. So, I mean, is this team battle ready? Chadwick, I'll throw to you. That this game is going to be, who can last it out. But if you look at TLCA's district, they had to play against Wall, they had to play against Early, they had to play against these good teams. Now over there, Crane, they didn't really have to play much in the district. How much does that affect you going into the playoffs?
And you just hit on it right there, Matt. That's exactly what I was going to say. Crane usually fields a pretty good football team. This year, it's not the same, right? The teams that they played is of a lower quality, and I mean that's no fault to them. You play who's on your schedule, right? Even if you have to play them twice. But TLCA, despite what their record seems like, they're playing teams in their own district. They're in the top 10 in the state, right? So Wall is good, And when you play teams like that, it battle tests you, right? It gets you ready to move on and play as the season gets colder and colder. Let's say deeper and deeper into November and maybe even into December. So it's just quite an accomplishment that TLCA has made their first ever playoff berth this year. And yeah, I think they have a legitimate chance to win the game tonight.
I know we're not doing picks anymore because the regular season is over, but if you had to pick them, Ryan, who you picking?
I'm picking TLCA. Let's see what the boys from San Angelo got.
What about you, James?
I'm going the same way.
I think so too. I think this is about the time where a lot of these charter schools in Texas right now are there's a lot of controversy around them because people are wondering, should they have to prove themselves as a team before they get started? Well, this San Angelo TLCA school has been struggling for a very long time, and now they finally have their feet on the ground. Now they're finally making some noise. made the playoffs for the first time, and I think you're right. I think we're going to get our
They were
very
2A for a long time. They
Right.
were 2A, and I think they made the playoffs as a 2A, back when they played Cristobal. And,
This is the very
and
first
Berkeley.
playoff berth in their history.
As a 2A or 3A?
They said in their school history.
Okay, so
Yeah, and to your point, Matt, I think that it's important to note too that like TLCA might end up being like San Angelo's third high school coming up. So like they're having success. Their enrollment keeps going up every year. So
All right, here
They've
we
been
go.
around
Here's
for
the
a while.
ultimate question: if Lakeview and TLCA plays, who wins?
Lakeview, I'm picking Lakeview in that game.
What about you,
It's,
James?
it's not
I'm
quite
gonna
there.
be a
yet.
hater either way I go with this one. So I'd go Lakeview.
Yeah, it's just
I
not.
will go with TLCA. I'm telling y'all, if y'all have seen their quarterback, he's a playmaker, and as we all know, Lakeview is what they are. All right, moving on to the highlight sections. But before we do, I want to let you guys know if you have a used car, go down there to All American Chevrolet, or if you want a used car, I guess I should say, for a limited time only, between November 1st and the 12th, you get 0% APR financing for 36 months. 0%. That's insane. Or if you need a little more time, 60 months, you can get a 2.99% APR financing. And if you need 72 months, we can do it for 3.99% APR financing. You won't find better deals or better rates on used cars anywhere but All American Chevrolet of San Angelo. It's the fun place to buy a car. Go see them at 203 North Bryant or give them a call at 325-203-5435. That's All American Chevrolet of San Angelo, the fun place to buy a car. Guys, are we ready to get into some highlights?
Absolutely, I
But
am.
before we do, we're gonna start with the Sterling City. Ryan, just to buy me some time here, talk a little bit before we get to it. What kind of game was it?
I mean, you want to talk about a shootout between two teams that showed up ready to play. From the get-go, it was back and forth. No team ever had more than a one-score lead throughout the entire game. It was kind of a bit flipped, like two different sides of the coin. Miles, most of their offensive attack was through the air. Sterling City was all about the ground and pound. A couple turnovers on both sides, but it's almost like whenever one team would create a turnover, the very next drive, the other team would commit the same turnover. And so back and forth, like I said, both quarterbacks had a really good night. Both defenses played well. Tempers flared at one point towards the end of the second half, and that carried in the first half, and that carried into the second half. Like I said, I'm not usually one who sits around and watches a lot of small school ball, but wow, like for a 2A game, I had a great time.
All right, well, let's get into the highlights. Let's do it. All right, the Sterling City Eagles. I'm telling you, they were playing the Miles Bulldogs, and they were ready for it. Here's a first touchdown by Miles, just a bomb down the field. Catches it, scores, brings it 7-0 to start the game. But the Sterling City Eagles will back. Don't worry, the score of this game is high scoring. There's going to be a lot of touchdowns. This is just
Get it right.
set about 7 minutes into the first quarter here. It's a little fake. Quarterback rolls out, throws the deep ball. Touchdown. From the end zone. Man, we thought that this game was just going to be a passing game, but it really wasn't. Sterling City after this puts it on the ground. Then Sterling City's quarterback, man, he runs
Ty Turner.
hard. He
Yeah,
runs
he's a good
hard.
quarterback.
Watch this run. Breaks one tackle, breaks two tackles, dives, end zone, touchdown. It's going to bring it to 14-6. About 10 minutes into the second quarter here. First quarter ended with a 2-6 score. Miles Bulldogs drive down the field. Hands it off, runs up the gut, outside, finds a room to run, and touchdown Miles. This will make it 12-14. They had the option to make it 2. Second go for 2. High ball game, 14-14. Run by Sterling City, bounces to the right, up the sideline. He's gone. Just an onside.
That fullback had a lot of carries last night.
Narrows his way through. Travis, who's that man? answer. Takes the snap, throws it out there to him, makes one miss, and just walks into the end zone. This game is tied. Actually, Miles, I forgot Miles went for 2 on that. This takes it 22-21 at this point. Sterling City down by 1. Reverse here to end the half. Throws it up to his quarterback. Catches it. Is he going to score? Just short, down on the 1. But he was able to get in the next play. 29-21. Only 28 seconds left at this point. Can Sterling City score? Quarterback takes it, rolls out to his left, cuts back, throws the deep ball, and controversial catch. They ruled it catch, even though it was kind of out. I don't know if it was or not. Next play, quarterback keeper to the right, barrels it in, touchdown, tied ball game at halftime. That catch right there caused some controversy for the rest of the game. Miles was in there, not everyone will say in their feelings, but I mean, they definitely rubbed him the wrong way. They got a little chippy at the end, angry at the refs. His first possession for Sterling City after the half. What an easy touchdown that was.
Another touchdown for Hyman.
And here's Miles, man. They just that passing offense, it doesn't happen.
That receiver right there, Manuel Torres, had an incredible game.
He may have had 2 or 3 touchdowns.
That's his third.
That was his second so far. 36-36, about 2 minutes left. Here it is, Sterling City takes the snap, hands it off, touchdown. That drive right there was an interesting drive because they took so much time off the clock there. But Miles did not stop, was able to go around the corner and barrels his way in and opens up his touchdown. This one right here, pause. This one right here, they scored. Miles scores 42-43 at this point. They kick the field goal. They win. Let's see what happens. Missed it to the right. Almost hit me in my head. You're welcome, Sterling City, because that Miles kicker was aiming right at me. And the Sterling City Eagles win 43-42. James, you just saw that highlight reel for the first time. What are your thoughts on that game?
It looked like it was a great one. Trey Cisco, I have a lot of respect for both, Coach Wilhelm there and Miles and Coach Cisco out there at Sterling City. They both run good programs. Cisco he's learned, he was 11-man, then he learned 6-man, now he's learned 11-man again, trying to teach his kids. He's, obviously playing very well. They were even picked to make the playoffs. And Miles, they got a great young quarterback. He's only a junior. Haven Book's only a junior. He's out there slinging it, all around the ball, all around the field. And they're returning quite a bit, and I feel bad that this happened in the first round. I hate that this, game had to occur now, but it is what it is, and Miles is going on to play basketball. They got a great basketball coach there in Coach Butts.
All right, now let's go. Speaking of coaches, let's go to the Sterling City coach as he was talked to us right after the game about their big win.
All right, Coach. It was an instant classic tonight. Just kind of give me your thoughts that you got right now.
I'm just so proud of these kids, from August 1st to where we are today and how much work they put in, starting a new game basically, and how much time they put in and work. I'm really proud of that bunch of kids, and I have been my whole life.
There's a lot to break down in this game, but we'll start in the first half. It came at the very end. 28 seconds, or it was about 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and you guys went down there and scored. What were you kind of telling your team to get them in the right mindset to go down there, even though there was only 20 seconds left?
They're used to scoring quick. They have been their whole lives, and it's one of those things that they know the momentum going into halftime is important, and they just buckled down and got it done.
Say something, kind of about the Miles team. I mean, they had a really tough district. Y'all played them earlier this year. They showed all year to be a really good football team. Just kind of talk about that compared to, how tough y'all and how ready y'all had to get this week because of them.
Yeah, on a short week too. I mean, yeah, they got a great football team. They throw the ball around. They got great receivers, great quarterback, and they run the ball well. I mean, they're a good all-around team. Defense is tough, but we've improved a lot since week 2. Our linemen are blocking a lot better, and we were able to run the ball tonight, and that's what we hang our hat on.
And Coach, in the second half, y'all pretty much slowed everything down, changed gears a little bit, completely controlled time of possession. How important was controlling the clock in the second half?
I mean, that's why we do what we do. That's one of the big things, getting these kids to buy into what we're doing. Not everybody runs a flex point every week, and not everybody sees it. And that's something where we can control the ball, and that's why we run when we run. And, I'm proud of Coach Marler and the offense and my other coaches and the job they've done.
I'm good. Thank you, Coach. Hey,
what a great interview by a great coach right there. Chadwick, you asked him about the time of possession. What did you think of his answer, and what did you think about that time of the possession that you said earlier made them win the game?
I mean, it was completely pivotal at that point in the game. Miles had kind of controlled the flow up to that point. Even though Sterling City would score and even get a stop and try to go score again, somehow it didn't matter. Miles was scoring so fast that they couldn't. It almost didn't matter what Sterling City did, because Miles was controlling the pace of the game. Second half, however, whenever Sterling City got the ball, they'd let that play clock drop below 10 seconds every single time before they snapped it. They'd take 2 to 3 plays to get a first down, multiple play drives. I think one of their scoring drives took about 7.5 minutes off the clock, the last minute of the third quarter, and all the way down to 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I think that drive had 13 or 14 plays on it. So when you have a team that scores fast, is super explosive and athletic like Miles was, they had several touchdowns that were off those big gains. It's only smart for what Sterling City did, just saying, no, we're going to play off of our pace. We're going to slow it down. Yes, you might score fast, but we're going to have the ball last. So
there you go.
Excellent job.
Yeah, it was a really good game. It was probably one of the best games that I've been to in a really long time. I mean, 43-42. I had my camera right there at the end of the game. I'm sure that Miles kicker may have been looking at me, because he dang sure almost knocked my head off with that missed field goal to end the game. Tough way to end your season, but either way, that's going to be it for the Miles Bulldogs. Guys, I want to let you go. I want to let you know before we move on. Angelo Bolt, those guys down there, Angelo Bolt Industrial Supply, they sponsor this show, so show them some love. Go down there if you need any screws or fasteners, nuts, bolts, anything. Even if you need some power tools like Milwaukee and DeWalt. Go down there, 808 Warehouse Drive. Go see the guys today at Angelo Bolt. All right, moving on here. We got last night in Robert Lee. It was a good game between Erie and County.
That was a crazy game. What are you talking about?
Good game. Yeah, you're right, James. I'm kind of underplaying that.
That was a crazy game.
What was the final score to this one?
104-91.
104-91, and we have every single touchdown, so be ready for it. And with that, we will go to Ernesto Rodriguez.
This is Ernesto with San Angelo Live here at Griffith Stadium in Robert Lee, home of the Robert Lee Steers, as the May Tigers and the Erie County Hornets are getting ready for round 1 of the playoffs. Teams are on the field right now, warming up, getting ready for tonight's matchup. We'll see what happens, who's going to advance. Hoping to see we're going to have a good competitive game. Those hard hits as usual. It is Thursday night, and we are looking forward to the first game of the playoffs to get started. 6 for the Hornets. Drops back to throw, hits his receiver. Receiver's got room, makes a move, and he scores the first touchdown of tonight's game. Erie County's up 6-0. Running up their handoff for 2 yards. And May has it at the 36-yard line. There was at the line, and quarterback's in the center. He does keep it. Looking for a receiver downfield, and it's caught. And we have a touchdown for May Tigers. 7:46 here, 2nd and 13 for the Hornets. at the 32-yard line on their side. And Peter Grace sprayed. Nobody there. Touchdown. At the one. A little over 2 minutes here now in the first quarter. Marion County trying to get another touchdown to take the lead. And they pitch it back, and he gets inside, breaks the plane. Touchdown, Erie County. 4th and 15 here for the May Tigers, down 20-16, and they are at the 17-yard line of Erie County. And they are going to go for it. And he pitches it back, still on his feet to throw it, and it's caught for a touchdown on 4th down. May is up 22-20, pending the 2-point kick. 2nd and 15 at the 33-yard line. Less than 8 minutes here after an incomplete pass. Hornets are getting the play in, getting ready to run this. Pitches it back, his running back's got room, and he sees the end zone. Another touchdown for the Erie County Hornets. Up 32, actually should be 34-32. Here we go, we are back to the action. It's 4th and 21 for the May Tigers. They just are coming back from a timeout at the 33-yard line. And now's the time for them to dig deep. No mistakes here, you've got to convert this. Otherwise, it's turnover on downs. And Erie County's going to have it. Quarterback gets the pitch, takes off and runs, has some room, but does not get to the line of game. And it is a turnover on downs for the Erie County Hornets. He was able to force that turnover on downs. It is now 2nd down. And quarterback has it, drops back to throw, looks down the field, passes it back to his running back who is on his feet, goes to the left side, keeps going on his feet, and he is going to go in for the touchdown. For the Tigers at the 3-yard line. Coming back to the line. All they need here is 1 yard. They don't need the whole touchdown. Quarterback's in shotgun, pitches it back, and hits a throw here. Touchdown, May Tigers with the trickery. That'll make it 44-38, pending the 2-point try. Got it back after a turnover. Still down 39-44. 1st and 15 at the 19-yard line. And he pitches it back to the quarterback. Takes a shot. And it is caught for a touchdown. Time for the Hornets now. Down by 3 on their own side of the field. They are going for it, as they do here in 6-man. Quarterback drops back to throw. Looks downfield. And he fumbles it again. He's down, and the Tigers are going to get it back. The halftime report here in Robert Lee. It is Erie County Hornets up 60-55 over the May Tigers. It's been back and forth as it usually is in 6-man football. Pretty much, there's been a couple turnovers, 1 pick 6, but Erie County did turn it over on their own side of the field, and that led to a May score. But right now, the Hornets have the advantage, up 60-55, and this is a close game, and it will more than likely go down to the wire here in Robert Lee tonight. The halftime report here in Robert Lee. It is Erie County Hornets up 60-55 over the May Tigers. It's been back and forth as it usually is in 6-man football. Pretty much, there's been a couple turnovers, 1 pick 6, but Erie County did turn it over on their own side of the field, and that led to a May score. But right now, the Hornets have the advantage, up 60-55, and this is a close game, and it will more than likely go down to the wire here in Robert Lee tonight. Less than 5.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Erie County trying to stop the Tigers from getting another touchdown. They're down 1, 3rd and 6. Man in motion, flips it back, and he gets it right to the quarterback. and missed tackle, and that's a May touchdown. For the Hornets, down 75-60 here in the third quarter. After an injury, back to the line of scrimmage. Player did get up on his own feet and flips it back. Takes a shot downfield. Hits his receiver for a touchdown. 4th down and 20 for the Tigers. And you can hear the Erie County fans that traveled. They are on their feet. They are cheering this defense on, and they're hoping for a big play here, at least a stop, and not to let the Tigers get the first down. If they stop them here, it's going to be good field position, as they're currently down 75-66. And the Tigers are coming to the line. Got a receiver split left. And pitches it back. He's looking. He's trying to find an open guy. Just tucks the ball downfield. Intercepted. And Erie County gets it back on the turnover. It should be 1st and 10 at the 20. 9:41 to go here in the 4th quarter. Hornets trying to score. Got to get to the 10 for the first down. And quarterback center looking for somebody. Has room. Takes a shot. In the end zone. His receiver's open for a Hornet touchdown. Plays off to the right side. Makes his move. Spins around. And he is surrounded by Hornets. And it's stripped. Hornets have it. On the feet. Goes to the end zone for a defensive touchdown. Goal from the 12 after a hold. Hornets are getting the play in after they stripped it. Trying to get the score here to go up in the 4th quarter. And another flag on the play. Somebody went from offsides. He's coming this way and he's inside for a touchdown. Ball for May now. And if you're a May Tiger fan, you don't want your team to make any mistakes. Although this Erie County defense has been able to force the turnovers. Quarterback drops back, looks down the field, and he tells his receiver to go down a little more deeper. And he takes off with it himself, but he gets wrapped up. And it's a turnover. Erie County touchdown is 96-83. And it's pending the 2-point try here. Kick is up. And it is good. 98-83. On for the Tigers. All they got to do is get a first down to keep this possession going. Receivers to the left. Flips it back. Throws a short. Oh, it's intercepted. And number 11 has it on his feet. No one in front of him or behind him. That's another pick six tonight. And that puts Erie County up 104-83. A short third down. Drops back. Pump. Hits his receiver downfield and he gets a touchdown. 89. But they're still down 104-89. Taking a knee for the final play. Erie County is winning this game 104-91 as they beat the Tigers in this playoff game for the first round. There were 2 defensive touchdowns by Erie County. One in the first half, the second one in the 4th quarter. They were down by 15 points, managed to come back in this game, and turnovers and defense made it happen for Erie County. So there you have it, the final 104-91, and the Erie County fans are going to have a great ride home as they celebrate this first win of the playoffs for the Hornets.
Wow, what a game. 104-91, James. That's incredible, especially Erie County was down 15 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, last year, May actually beat Erie County in the first round, went on to state. And Erie County has a really good chance. You know, they'd end up playing Jonesboro down the road, and we could have like a Garden City or Westbrook. We could see one of those teams in state as well. So yeah, you might want to watch the Erie County team. That was a fun game to watch, and I bet Ernesto had a blast out there.
Dude, I bet. I mean that.
Out there, yeah, man.
I'm like,
that was...
dude, this is an 11-minute highlight tape, but at the same time, that's because there was 200 points scored.
No, it was amazing. I'd have loved to have been. That was probably one of the best games last night to be at. Although it's hard to argue which game was probably the best one to be at last night.
I know. I think everybody's games.
were tremendous.
And we're gonna get to yours here in a second. But before we do, I want to let you guys know. I may sneeze. Goodness gracious! I want to let you guys know about Davis Woodfin. He's a financial advisor at Edward Jones. He's making sense of investing. He's over there at 4102 South Jackson Street. Give him a call 325-249-0082. That's Davis Woodfin, the financial advisor at Edward Jones. 4102 South Jackson, or give them a call, 325-249-0082. All right, James, moving on to your game, Sonora. Hey, what a game it was. Give me a wrap up on it before I get to the highlight.
You talk about 43-42 there at Sterling City Miles. This was a 28-27 game. Sonora ended up pulling out the win. They played Olney in Clyde, so we went up there about 2 hours away. And Clyde Olney was big. They run the bone. They fear the veer type of team. They have a great running back in Giovanni Rockmore, a great quarterback in Gatlin Guy. But Jaime Butron, Hunter O'Bannon, and Edgar DeLuna really proved to be a difference maker in this one. Just an incredible team win there. They made the plays when they needed to, and just congratulations. That was really awesome. Let's get to it, Matt.
All right, here it is. Take it over.
All right, here you go. This is Olney has the ball. He pitches it out to his running back, and this is Sonora just getting the tackle for loss. Great play by Sonora. There was a lot of that going on last night, just tackles behind the line, getting back there. But they did move the ball pretty successfully. Here's Butron. He actually won the 2A Built Ford Tough Player of the Week last week for his win against Forsan. And run upfield, get a good first down here.
Whoa, that's a big run right there. Put him in scoring position.
Yep. Gonna move around outside tackle box. Not gonna find his guy. But he's gonna keep running around, keep trying. And lots of that last night as well. Just a great game. Gatlin Guy stumbles out of his stance. And that could have been a difference maker right there. And that kind of saved Sonora. This is where the scoring started. Butron fumbled the ball. A.B. Marquez picked it up, ran it back for a touchdown, 7-0 Olney. Here you go, Sonora's ball. They're moving it pretty well.
Butron keeps the ball itself. He gets to the 25-yard line. Makes it second down and 13.
All right, Butron's going to take the snap here. I think they ran the hurry up all night last night. Edgar DeLuna gets behind the defense, catches it, looks right at me, and just doesn't do anything.
A first score for the Broncos, though. Tie ball game, 7-7.
Yep, I think it's a 28-yard pass to do. No, it's 7-6. They missed the field.
7-6.
Yeah, only blew up through their line and blocked it. Here you go. Here's a big run by Rockmore. He's proven why he's a 1,500-yard rusher this season.
That's a big old boy for.
They were all big. They were all very big. Here you go. This is probably. This is Marquez again, stepping up, making tackle. Probably a touchdown-saving tackle there. Here you go. Butron's going to roll out to his left, and he's going to get sacked out there. All right, this is they're on 13. You're just going to drop back.
Ball game right now.
He's going to throw it to O'Bannon in the end zone, who looks right at me again. Doesn't point at me or anything.
Does that tie it up at 14?
Yeah, they do get the 2 point, and it's tied up 14-14. Here you go. This is Olney's next drive. They're driving. All of a sudden, boom, fumbles it.
Big time fumble that the Broncos needed.
Yep, you could see a momentum to maybe start swinging here, but Butron's going to take the snap, and he's some confusion on his part. He's going to go to pitch it. His guy's not there. Only takes over.
Wow, what a misplay.
And this is Damian Reyes. Damian Reyes out there making a tackle out of his corner position. That was the I think this was the last play before halftime here. This is after halftime. This is a very violent run by Rockmore here.
Dang, just barreling his way through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
I walked up to him. I walked up to him after the game. I mean, he's a refrigerator, man.
And then give it to him one more time.
And that was a 1-yard score he got in the end zone. That made it 21-14. Here you go. Here's Sonora's next drive. Gonna hand it off to.
That's
he's gonna keep it.
Keeper right there.
He's gonna keep it.
Bounces to the outside, up the sidelines, gets tackles from behind, gets the first down though.
Here you go. Here's the handoff to DeLuna. DeLuna was the real X factor in this game, who just played tremendous. Never got a lot of people talking about it. It was all about Butron O'Bannon, and Coach Weston said that DeLuna does everything right, and he did. He was the difference maker last night for Sonora. They did miss the 2-point conversion, so that made it 21-20. Here's Sonora's drive. Yes, Sonora was down.
Butron keeps the ball, pulls it down.
Butron bounces it to the outside. That's what he likes to do
Gets
best.
the first down.
Gets honestly thrown a little bit forward. Ball on the 10-yard line.
Here you go.
Quarterback keeper right up the middle. Just a little read option play. And touchdown.
Touchdown. This is the 2-point conversion here.
Speed option.
Going out, pitching
it. Runs through. Touchdown. Look at that. 1-point lead for Sonora.
No, it's 28-21 now.
Okay. Touchdown lead by Sonora.
Yeah. Here you go. Here comes a sack from a little short guy, little sophomore, Dylan Ford gets back there, gets a sack. Momentum really started to swing towards Sonora here. They just needed to keep him off the field. We're here in the fourth quarter now, just trying to keep the only offense off the field. There's a big pass to Owen Jones for a first down. Next up, this is we're getting towards the end here. There's a lot of things seem to calm down in the second half here. It wasn't as crazy. But
wow, making like 3 or 4 guys miss there, getting up into score position past the midfield mark there.
They did give it back to Only. Only had a big time run here.
Oh wow, cuts it back inside.
And time is ticking here, and I'm sitting there saying, just let him score. That way you can get the ball back. You stop him on the 1-yard line.
The dreaded double
you give him 9 points, but Rockmore, proving why he's a great back, stretches over the goal line. They missed the extra point. Made it 28-27. They try an onside. Sonora gets the recovery. This is after. Hey, pause it real quick. This is after Only jumped off sides. It was 4th and about 5 or 6, about 5.5. Only jumped off sides on the punt. That moved it forward. This was the shortest 5 yards I've ever seen. I thought it was close to 5 yards, but they were just inches short. They go back out. They jump off sides again. Give Sonora the first down. Go ahead and play it. And they're excited, but Sonora would end up winning on that next play. And Hunter O'Bannon said it best there, round 2, baby, round 2.
There you go, James.
So,
what'd you think, man?
That was
a pretty crazy game.
It was great, man.
I mean, if we kind of, we've been comparing that Sterling City game to this game because it all came down to the end because of a missed extra point. How important are those?
When Only blew up the Sonora line and blocked it on that first one, I was like, that's really gonna affect how this game plays out. And sure enough, it comes down to 1 point at the end, just 1 point the other way. But Only has nothing to hang their head about. They're in a really tough district with Hawley and Cisco. We saw what Hawley did to Christoval last night. Mm-hmm. We saw Cisco beat Reagan County. Stanford plays Forsan tonight. They're just a really good district. In any other district, they'd probably be a first seed team.
Yep.
So that was a really tough one for them. And they have, hey, God gave us one direction, right, forward. So just keep playing hard. Keep your head up. You have nothing to hang your head about. To Sonora, hey, they played really well. And if
you get to play another week,
you get to play in the second round. But if you look at Sonora, they have a lot of positives. They hold on to that ball. 7 points are off the board for Only off Butron's fumble. If they make a tackle, there's 7 points. That 55-yard run by Rockmore. So Sonora has a lot of positives to take from this game. But we can let Coach Weston kind of bring that up.
Sonora head coach Blake Weston, 28-27. What do you have to say about your team just fighting through this one?
Man, they fought all year. They're fighters. Didn't play well in the first half. Gave them a defensive touchdown and threw the ball on the ground. But kind of cleaned it up, and we ran the football really, really well tonight.
No, and Only they're not your regular fourth place team, man. They're in a really tough district, and they'd probably be a first place team in any other district.
100%. They're a dang good football team. Well coached. They do well. Their offense is very well. Their defense is good. They fly around. You're not your typical fourth place team. They're a very, very good football team.
All right, man, that's nothing. You guys didn't give me any love in the end zone or anything after they scored. What's that about?
Nothing? Man, I'll give you the butt cheeks. Nah, it was really good. I'm glad we put up some points tonight.
Hey, you don't want to draw a penalty, right?
Huh?
You don't want to draw a penalty, right?
Yeah, no 15-yarders.
All right.
I still got my hat, Coach Weston. I wanted to wear it last night, but I
You
couldn't.
can't be a homer.
Can't be a homer. But congratulations, guys. You're playing Falwell next week. That's another tough – Farwell, my bad. They're another tough team. They're up there on the border between New Mexico and Texas. They're in Stratford and Panhandles District. Stratford won state last year. They beat Falls City at state. They're a damn good football team. So you had the hard road coming out of district with Cristobal and Forsan. You had only in the first round. Go get another one.
All right, moving on. But before we do, I want to let you guys know about Double Dave's Pizza of the Month for November. If you need some Thanksgiving holiday plans, go down there to Double Dave's. They got the Thanksgiving pizza, which is hand-tossed crust, stuffing, brown gravy, diced turkey, mozzarella, onion, and cranberry sauce. They're in the Southwest Plaza. Go see them at Knickerbocker Road in Sunset, or give them a call. Maybe order online, however you like to order your pizza. Make it happen. That's Double Dave's Pizza. Moving on, James, to our very last game. We may not go through this whole entire highlight reel because it kind of was a blowout, but I think the people deserve to see what happened. This is the Cristobal versus Holly.
The Holly Bearcats.
6-0 early here in San Angelo Stadium. Here's a good example of this Holly team. Look at this long ball right here, wide open, just moved right past everybody. Basically walks into the end zone. 12-0 at this point. 7 minutes left. Next possession by Holly. Takes a snap, just looks. Wide open again. Make it 16-0 now with a 2-point.
They're down.
That's Austin Duncan, man, running back. He didn't play last year. I don't think he played last year. I think he was hurt. So they returned him. They returned a whole bunch on that Holly team. They probably remember the Doug Brooks run at state where he just barreled over guys. So they are a hungry team, and they are just good at what they do. Mitch Abels does a fantastic job up there.
Look at that. That line just completely 22-0 right here.
Cristobal had a really experienced defensive and offensive line too. So I think
this Holly team is for real.
Yeah,
they are up there. Easy.
That's Deontay Ramon catching that touchdown for him. I mean,
Angelo Stadium. Making me sick. 30-0, second quarter. We'll probably just go to this until halftime. Handoff right here. Goes out to the left. Makes one miss. Has blockers in front of him.
Crumpton again with a huge run.
All the way to the 10-yard line. They were able to put it in. Here's the extra point.
Extra point try.
Snaps up, kicks up, and missed it again, maybe. Yeah, they had really some struggle. They made that one, but they're having some struggles on those extra points. About 2 minutes left
extra
here.
Points, make a difference. Look at the games last night.
Yeah, yep. Those extra points definitely do. Unless you're up 37-0 in this first half, and that lead's going to grow right here. Big run, fumble actually. Oh no, it's not fumble. Cristobal has the football. 37-0. 45 seconds left in the second quarter. Holly has the football. It seems like Cristobal has the football. A little bit of trickery here though. Let's see if they can get something to work. Just throws it out there. Interception. And going to get the ball for the 4-yard line. I guess, if you got to try to figure something out, maybe do a trick play. But if your trick plays are not working, I don't know what you do.
And that's just the experience of this Holly team showing, man. Mitch Abels does a fantastic job up there with those guys.
We'll stop it there. James, do you have a final score for that one?
It was what, like 52-6?
Sure.
Something like that?
Sure. I know if y'all want to see it,
right
go
here.
to sanjolive.com/scores and you can see those.
52-8.
52-8. So Cristobal was able to get on the board. Of course, it wasn't in the first half, and
I think it
kind of was in garbage
catcher
time.
Joyner who ran it in for him.
Yep. So
tough from my alma mater.
Cristobal Cougars. They had a young team. They still made the playoffs. Got beat first round, but hey, still made the playoffs.
And it's Holly. Like they have eyes set on Arlington. They want to get back to that game. They want one this year, and they have proved it. They've beaten everybody so far. They're perfect this season. Shiner loss last year really, I guarantee if I called Mitch Abels up right now, he would say that's really fueling his guys.
Yep. All right, this has been the Cover One pregame show. I know this one was a little long this week, but we had a whole lot of action on Thursday night, and then we also had to get you ready for tonight's game. So make sure you come back at 8 to 10 o'clock for highlights and scores from across the teams of Texas, including the Central Bobcats, the San Angelo TLCA Eagles, and the who's in Sweetwater again, James?
Albany and El Dorado.
Oh, that's right, El Dorado. How could I forget? All right, James, you got any other games you want to mention before we go?
Jim Ned is taking on Pilot Point in Dublin. That's going to be a good one. Jim Ned started off 0-3. They actually lost to Hawley in week 1, but they since got guys healthy. Pilot Point kind of had a down year, and the winner here is going to take on Bushland. That's going to be a really damn good game next week.
All right, so be on the lookout for those games too. Like I said, this has been the Cover One pregame show, only on SanAngeloLive.com, where you can see it on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course SanAngeloLive.com. We will see you guys at 8 and 10 o'clock.